What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon, the crypto universe. Today's Tuesday, January 6th. Now in today's dog video, you may have noticed that dog may be down just a little bit, but the ranking of dog has climbed to 189 on CoinMarketCap. Mainly in this video, I do want to cover what's going on for dog on Solana, why dog still shows that bulls are in control, and most importantly, the charting analysis. We're going to be using certain indicators to allow us to understand what could happen next for dog, and why dog flipping many of these meme coins on the top 20 is just the very beginning. So let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X. Please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I'll never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. So as you can see, dog right now, it's not even really down that much. It's around 0.13% at the time of this recording. You may have noticed that there was this massive sharp dip that just happened out of nowhere. Well, guess what? It's because Bitcoin actually had a massive dip. Yes, as of this morning, we were at 94,000 US dollars and we dropped significantly down to around $91,000. Now, this to me is obviously big market makers probably working with exchanges to liquidate anybody who is bullish on Bitcoin. So people that thought Bitcoin was going to continue to go up, they place these leveraged positions to long Bitcoin, which means that they think it goes up, and they end up getting liquidated because the price goes down. This is all what market makers do, and they will continue to do this probably until we have the Clarity Act passed from the Senate and the House. Hopefully that can happen within January, by the end of the month, or hopefully within Q1 of 2026. From what I'm hearing from Congress, that's looking pretty good. But what you cannot ignore is the meme coin market sector. Okay, so don't look over the past 24 hours. Look over the past 7 days. You can see that everything is up in the double digits over the past 7 days. And why is this really important? Well, if you think about it, meme coins are a very speculative, but also high risk asset class. So what I've known throughout the entire time of crypto is that meme coins, if they start being the first movers and you start seeing more money inflows into the meme coin sector, that means that's an early signal that people are having a risk on appetite for these speculative assets, which means these are usually the first movers that indicate that there is going to be a reversal of a potential altcoin season. Not a Bitcoin season, but an altcoin season rally. It does not mean that Bitcoin can't have a run up, because if anything, I do want Bitcoin to continue to go up. I like Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin to continue to go to 100,000, 150,000. But right now, 94,000 is a major resistance level. And if we can surpass $100,000 on Bitcoin, then that means we may have broken out of this whole bear market 4-year cycle. But regardless, Bitcoin's actually doing quite well. Considering that it used to be at a 260 ranking, is at 189 just within a week. That's how amazing this happens. Remember, the pump just happened this past weekend. It's only Tuesday. This started happening on like Saturday for that matter. So this is how fast the meme coin market sector works. Only up 50% over the past 4 days. But remember, meme coins can have major gains, not 50%. I'm talking about hundreds to thousands of percent. That's how fast this sector moves. Okay, before we start talking about dog, we have to talk about Gemini. The reason I'm talking about Gemini is because their last 2 posts featured Pengu. Now, you know how I feel about VC-backed tokens with team allocations. Now, what I want you to do is reply to these posts. And remember, I ended up sharing a few images such as this, which is that the top 10 wallets of Pengu roughly own 58% of the supply. Even the top 100 holders own 79% of the token supply. That's unfair. So if you have time, please go over to the Gemini account on X, make sure to reply into these 2 different posts regarding Pengu, and make sure to say whatever you can say, saying dog is greater than Pengu, that community is greater than corporate memes. I mean, the dog community is really showing up, but I want all of you, if you're watching this video, please educate Gemini. Stop supporting these VC-backed tokens. Because if you've noticed, their Pengu community is not showing up. It's because there is no community. All of their marketing is paid by token allocations. That's what Pengu is. So please educate Gemini, show them the strength of the dog army. Okay, now let's talk about dog again. Okay, so dog on Solana is very interesting because we actually saw a spike in liquidity, trading volume, and holder count. So the holders have now increased to around close to 10,400, liquidity surpassing 200,000 US dollars, and then you're seeing the volume and the token go up as well, meaning that there's more buy orders, which is the green bars, rather than sell orders, which is the red bars. That's very fascinating. And if you go over to Crypto Capital Ventures AI tool, the bulls are still in control. And this is the overall chart. Last time we saw something like this was right over here before we reached 560 million, right over here before we reached a new all-time high market cap around 999 million, then also right over here before we reached 980 million, which was the very first bull run for dog. Now, this is actually quite interesting. This is shared by Killer Ticker. So this is dog compared to Bitcoin's price, meaning dog compared to Bitcoin's Satoshi value, not USD. Now, if you notice with these specific candles, this is based on the weekly. Now, if you look at the weekly time frame, what have you noticed? Well, apparently dog is actually starting to see green candles. And this is very important because we just broke out of this descending 90-week trend line, which is this trend line right here. I think that's very important that people should not ignore, and shout out to Killer Tickers for spotting that. But also, I noticed something. Have you noticed something regarding the weekly time frame for dog Bitcoin regarding the MACD? Well, if you notice on the very bottom, we saw that the MACD in the very beginning saw a bearish trend, followed by a bullish trend, then a bearish trend. This is whenever the orange and blue line cross. Well, guess what? Just as of today, we just saw a reversal, again, a bullish reversal crossover for dog on the MACD. And this has only happened once, which was back in May of 2025. Now we're seeing it happen again, and there is a green bar. But let's also focus on these specific markers right here. You see this one over here, this one over here, and this one over here. Let's talk about that. Now, what are we seeing here with the dog price? Well, the dog price right now on the rainbow moving average is that the dog price is stepping out of the yellow zone into the blue zone. Now, we saw this happen right over here, and we saw it happen right over here. Now, what we need to have confirmation is how far would these green candles go into the blue zone? Well, I think we need to zoom in because I think we'll have a better understanding. So let's look at the dog price on the daily time frame. This is not the weekly, the daily. Well, look at the MACD. Okay, so again, we're still waiting for the orange line to step from the MACD into the buyer's market, because right now it's still down here, which is the seller's market, aka seller market dominance. But once that orange line does cross over to the buyer's market, that to me is very bullish. Now, another thing I want to share with you is, let's go and hide this rainbow moving average. Is that the first day right over here on January 5th, which was yesterday, we had a large red candle, but it ended the day with a large wick, meaning that the selling pressure is actually very weak. And let's look at today. Today also has a red candle, but it's also quite small, meaning there isn't a lot of selling pressure just yet. This isn't enough selling pressure to consider this is a bearish reversal. So let's bring this rainbow moving average back in. So what do we need to see here? Well, based on what I've seen in the previous past is that whenever we see the dog price in this daily moving average get out of the blue zone, but most importantly the green zone and the red zone, and then we hop into the purple zone, that's when we are confirmed for a bullish run. See, we're going to see it happen right over here. So we step out of the blue, the green, then the red, which is where we're in currently today, and then we're waiting to get into the purple zone. And every single time we get into the purple zone, we start to see this massive rally for dog. So right now, if you just kind of zoom in really closely, has stepped out of the yellow, blue, green, red, and now hopefully getting into the purple zone. Once it does do that, my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, this could happen really quickly where dog's price does really, really well. Now, when I kind of zoom out, look at the MACD, okay? So this is where we are right now, and you must be wondering, can there be more upside within the month of January? I actually think that could be if we continue to see more rallies going into the cryptocurrency market, meaning more money inflows into the speculative asset class of meme coins. Because we could reach levels really this high in terms of the MACD, or even higher, which was the very first bull run. That's how far we can go up. We've actually not seen anything just yet, because when we zoom in, we don't really know how much upside there is, but when you zoom out, you can see the potential that we've seen in the past with dog, and you can see that it can happen really quickly, really fast, and usually these bull runs typically take between 24 days up to 40 days, so they can actually happen within a month. So overall, that's what I just want to share with you regarding dog's charting and analysis. So the reason I share this with you is because I really want you to understand on a day-to-day basis that when you remove your emotions and you only focus on data, you kind of know what to expect. And another factor is that usually charting helps you understand the emotional side of the market, meaning it allows you to understand where the emotion sentiment is around the world around dog, so that you can determine for yourself what's going to happen next for dog. And to me, every indicator is sharing with me that dog is very bullish, but it does not mean we're going to have massive pullbacks, because pullbacks are going to happen to shake out leverage. So whenever you see pullbacks and you know that the meme coin market sector is back, you just have to see those pullbacks as a buying position or just hodl, right? All you have to do is either buy or hodl. That's all you have to do. And actually right now, I think you need to start planning your targets, where you need to take profits. So say for instance, if dog goes to $1 billion, maybe take 10% in profit. If dog goes to $5 billion, maybe take another 10 or 20% in profit. But no matter what, always keep a bag of dog on the side. We call this the moon bag. The moon bag is something that you will not sell until you feel like, oh my gosh, dog hit 10 to $20 billion. I might as well sell the rest of my dog. That's your moon bag. But it's okay to take profits with dog once we hit into the multi-billions of dollars of market cap in the next few months, because you can reinvest those funds into dog later, maybe when dog's price goes down in the next bear market, or you could just keep the funds for yourself and use it to take care of your family or whatever. The whole point is that dog isn't just a meme coin, it's a movement, but we're also here to help each other out, so that we can keep the token sustainable, but also that the people behind the token, the community, also thrives from it. And that's what we want the community to feel, is that the community loves this token so much that they'll also still advocate for it afterwards, even if they've left the dog community. Because dog is more than just a meme coin. It's more than any other cryptocurrency. It's something that Satoshi would be so proud of, and what aligns with Bitcoin, just Bitcoin itself, and it's Ether. So let me know your thoughts down below, what you think is going to happen with dog in the next coming months, given the indicators I've shared with you, but also the bullish sentiment I've shared with you. Don't forget to interact with Gemini. Make sure they know to list dog and stop supporting these VC-backed tokens. It's driving me nuts. So with that said, let me know your thoughts down below, and I cannot wait to read them. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding dog and moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.